Alright, getting started on kind of my last push here until I get the 360 back from the machine shop. And this is what it's all kind of centered around, is really the drive line and making sure everything is nice and squared away. I'd love to get out in the woods this summer. I just want to make sure everything is good to go for that. So I think I've talked about this before, but I'm getting rid of the Barnes four-wheel drive diff cover I've got on my rear axle. I'm going to put the stock cover back on, and I've got one of these kind of guards here that I'm going to use for protection. I've got the 20-gallon tank, and it just hangs down too low. I don't have a lot of room between the tank and the Barnes diff cover. So I'm doing that. I've already kind of touched up the original bolts from the original diff guard there. I've also got one for the front that I'm going to put on. I was worried about clearance between the differential and my steering arms with one of those Barnes diff covers, so same thing for the front axle, the same diff guard. I also bought one of these Bleepin' Jeep alignment tools. Figured I could spend, I think it was 80 bucks on that, and align it myself versus paying a shop, I don't even know, 150 bucks to align it. I'm also going to get rid of my wheel weights and use balance beads. My tires they're only little 31s, but the tire shop that mounted and balanced them on my steel wheels, there are weights everywhere. And I want to get rid of all that. I don't want to worry about knocking a weight off or anything like that. So got these. The Counteract website recommended 6 ounces of weight per wheel, so that's what I ordered. We'll try that out, and of course we'll wrap up the 6-bolt hub conversion. So I think what I'm going to start on is the diff guards, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I've got no lights to set up at all, but you can kind of see how close the diff cover is to my gas tank. I'm only running 2.5 inches of lift. I don't plan to run any more in this Jeep. So that's just kind of where that lives. If I had a 4-inch lift, I'm sure it would be better, but that's what I've got. So that's kind of the first issue. It's a pain to work with it being that close. And then my other issue is that I cannot get it to stop dripping, and that is extremely frustrating. I've tried. I don't like globbing on RTV. I know if I globbed on RTV I could get it to stop, but that's just kind of not how I like to roll. So I bought a lube locker. I bought it when I re-geared my front axle because I wanted a lube locker on the front. So there's a lube locker in it now, and it's still leaking. So off this comes, then the stock cover is going back on. Don't tell my wife, but I'm borrowing her fancy dancy Pampered Chef bowl. This oil is not even 2 months old, and I'm a tightwad. I'm going to reuse it. It'll be okay. I'm gonna let that drain for a little bit. Okay. All right. For those that don't know, that's what an Eaton True Track looks like. Not really much to see. I like that my loop blocker is still just kind of sitting there. Alright, I'm going to let that drain for a little bit, and then I'll throw the new old diff cover back on. Alright, diff is all drained. Got the old cover out of the way. The loop blocker seems to be holding in place, so I'm just going to throw the old diff back up in there. The old diff cover. Okay, we're all on and buttoned up. Here's how much fluid the Barnes diff cover could hold. I'm trying to do this with two hands, so apologies. It's the highest tick mark there is 64 ounces, and you can see that's just right at the top. So it'll be interesting to see how much fluid the stock diff cover allows to pump into here. So I'm getting to filling this up. This is going to be a pain. All right, rear is done. You can see the difference in how much fluid the Barnes diff cover held versus the stock. It's almost, well, I don't know if I can say half, because it was full, like all the way up to the brim. 64 ounces is that tick mark. I'm sure you can see 32 right there. So a little more than half, less than half, I don't know. Anyway, time to throw the diff cover on the front, or the guard, I guess, on the front. I'm hoping I can just take the 5 bottom bolts off and throw that on and zip it back down without the lube blocker leaking. You can see, if you've never dealt with a lube blocker before, they have a specific pattern they want you to tighten everything down on. So I don't know, I'm gonna see how it goes. All right, time for the front. Like I mentioned, I'm hoping I can just remove those 5 bolts, put the cover on, or the new guard on, and zip them back down, and it'll seal up just fine. So, better or worse, here we go. Man, that one's gonna be a bummer. By the way, these did come with button head bolts. I didn't want to use them because I hate button head bolts, but I'm seeing why. I see why it came with them. I could have clearanced this had I not been in such a hurry. But I was in a hurry. Okay. No. Uh-oh. Okay. So close. Turn a little bit more. Alright, had to turn the camera off because I needed to get where the camera was just to help me out, but what I did was I loosened everything back up and just used my screwdriver to pick the diff guard up a little bit, just enough to get that 12-point socket on, but it's on, it's all torqued down. Chipped a little bit of oil, but that's it. Feel good about that. That job is done. Moving on to the next. Alright, so really next on the list is to get the 6-bolt hubs together, check my alignment, and then throw the wheel, the balance beads in. So I think what I need to do is get the hubs on. At that point I'll have my tires off, so I'll check my alignment, and then I may as well go ahead and rotate my tires and do the beads. It's been a while since I had these apart. Everything looked to be there. For some reason I could remember that I needed something. Thankfully, I left myself a note. Needs lock washers. So, I don't know, it sounds like I'll go to Home Depot tomorrow and pick up some lock washers, and hopefully I'm good to go on that. Maybe I'll try to get that done this weekend. It's Thursday now. Of course the kids want to go to the zoo, but we'll see. It'd be awesome to get this done this weekend. That would be fantastic. Alright, I couldn't help myself. I put one of the hubs, the locking hub, on the wheel hub. I don't know. I just wanted to see. Turn that down. Come on. Hey, give me that. Punk. Why's that one being such a punk? All right. I don't want to take it out of the packaging because if I can't get to it this weekend, I don't know what to do with it, but it's looking good. Hopefully this will be a breeze. Stronger hubs. I don't know why I'm doing this. I had to take it right back off. Alright. I'm pumped.